really unique and really lucky. Jamie often says that we have one of the most robust counseling programs in the Roaring Fork Valley, and I would agree. I'm part of a team of 2 other counselors and myself, and we work really hard at this, along with Jamie and Peter, we work really hard at thinking about college readiness. So I really want to make sure that as you come into the high school, you're college readiness doesn't start when they come see me in 12th grade. It starts from the beginning, and I work pretty closely with 12th graders and now with 11th graders, and that's where most of my energy goes. But the philosophy of college readiness and getting kids psyched to continue their education is embedded in the school, and that's what we're trying to work really hard at as a counseling staff. But my job specifically, we're really lucky at Basalt that we were able to work in a specified college counselor, and the benefits of that are that I get to work one-on-one with students as much as I can. And I see my role really as the guide and the coach. I mean, I come from a coaching background, and I really do see myself as a coach and a cheerleader, like, go, 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 finish that application. So I get to cheer them along and guide them. Students have to do the work, and the thing that most impresses me about Basalt High School students is that they're self-motivated, and they're resourceful, and they're resilient, and they take care of their own business, and I love that about Basalt High School kids, is that I don't have to, I'm not a hand holder. I mean, I can be, but that's not the role I should be in. And so I see myself more as the guide, and that goes for the parents too, I'm a resource, and I can be there to talk through things with you, to help you find the information. I absolutely do not know all the information myself, but my job is to help the kids and you all find that information. So it's about supporting, it's about being a safe place for them to come and explore options and not being judgmental about what their choices are. And my other role is just to provide a place where they can explore. I see career readiness as continuing continuing education, and so there's so many options out there. And I like to say that I'll support if the student wants to go salmon fishing in Alaska, that's educational, and I will help them figure that out, as well as figure out how to get into a highly selective college. So the philosophy that guides the college process at Basalt High School is really, I think, adopted by all of us that you're talking to, and it's, again, about choice. There are over 3,000 colleges in this country to choose from, and I'm here to tell you that every single kid at Basalt High School or in this valley who wants to go to college can go to college. It's about them wanting to and doing what they need to do to get there, but there's a college for every single student. And we will find that college. And I know there's a lot of pressure out there to feel like, oh my gosh, my kid's not going to get into college. But if your child wants to get into college and they do what they need to do, they will get into a college. They will find a way to continue their education. So hopefully that makes you all feel better. So the other piece, so it's about choice. It's about making sure that the kids know how many choices they have and that they can explore all their choices. So CMC is an amazing choice in this valley, and my job is to make sure they choose CMC because it's the right fit for them and for their family, not because they didn't try to get in anywhere else or they thought that was the only thing that they could do. So it's about having choices, and then for me it's about finding a financial fit, a social fit, and an academic fit. And so that's where families play a big role because they're part of understanding the financial picture that their families are in. And they know, you all know your students better than anyone, so you're going to be able to help them figure out where they might actually fit in. So in terms of what you all can do, one of the things is get educated. That sounds kind of harsh, but what I mean by that is there's so much fear out there around college. Oh my gosh, it's so expensive. Oh my gosh, my kid will never get in unless they're like in 10 activities. A lot of those myths are they're fostering fears and they're not healthy. And so I encourage you to really start to read about what's myth and what's reality. I tell you, there is a college for every single child out there. So, and maybe it doesn't happen right away, and maybe the path is longer or shorter. I mean, there's all kinds trajectories you can take. So figure out what is myth and what is reality, and then start thinking about what you want for your child and what they want. And if they're really different, then you all need to start having a good conversation, and I can play mediator, and I can play, Mythbuster, if you want me to. But I think it's important to start understanding what your hopes and dreams are for your child and what their hopes and dreams are. Because I hear a lot of people going, my kid needs to do this, and my kid needs to do that, and my kid needs to do that, and they need to have this GPA, and I'm like, well, what do you want for your kid? Well, they're going to state school, and I'm like, whoa, you're putting so much pressure on your kid, and they're already there. So I think you need to know what they need, and all right, get educated. I'll stop talking about that now. And then we put a lot of pressure on our kids to do lots of extracurricular activities, and I do too. I put lots of pressure on my kid. I have a junior and an 8th grader, and I've really switched now to the reason that colleges want to see extracurricular activities or volunteer activities or things outside of academics is they want to know if that child knows who they are and what their passions are. And just like Peter said, that conversation comes from you, that self-awareness of who that child is and what makes them happy. And then pursuing that outside of themselves, outside of their electronic devices, to make them realize the bigger world out there. That's what the college-worthy experiences are. So that's what the extracurricular extra stuff is all about. It's not about racking up all the things that your child can do in a day. It's really about making sure that these experiences are worthy of a learning experience. And so when you think about that, it's always quality versus quantity on what you get your child to do and what you get them involved in high school. And then one thing I just ask of all parents is to keep an open mind, because those of you who were here last year heard me say this, but I am a reformed East Coast snob, and when I grew up, it was all about where you went to college, and it's really not like that anymore, or maybe it is in some places, but we don't live there, thank God. So what a student chooses to do after high school, there are so many options out there, and there's so many good options that we have to open our mind up and maybe get rid of some of our own biases, and not get judgmental about what so-and-so's doing, or can't believe so-and-so was so smart and now they're not doing this and that. And I am guilty as charged of all those things that I've heard myself say, and I really want to encourage all parents to keep an open mind of all the amazing things that there are out there to do after kids graduate from high school. So I think that's the end of my talk, right?